Okay, so in this math journal, we're doing some error analysis, and it says you're tutoring a student in trigonometry, and one of the homework problems your student encounters asks whether the following statement is an identity. Tangent squared x times sine squared x, does that equal 5/6 times the tangent square x? And it goes on to say that your student does not attempt to verify the equivalence algebraically, but mistakenly uses only a graphical approach. And I think the key word there is uses only a graphical approach, because sometimes, remember when we talked about the graphical approach, there were some limitations that we had to take into account. So I suspect that that's going to be what we're going to run into here, is figuring out what the student did that made it hard to see if there was a mistake or not in their work. So if we clear our calculator, we want to first make sure that our mode is in radians, and then in the y equals, here we want to clear out y1 and y2 and put in the left side of the equation in y1 and the right side in y2. Okay, and I'm not going to type those in since I'm just helping you get started, but that's what you'll want to tackle first. Then this next part is important. It says to use this range of settings. This is what your student that you were tutoring was using, so you want to make your calculator screen match theirs. And to adjust the window, you press your window button here next to zoom, says window, and we're going to set the x minimum to -3 pi. So we'll type -3 and then the pi symbol. When you arrow down, that -3 pi is going to change to a decimal approximation. That's fine. It's still got all of the decimals of accuracy stored in the memory that it can. Okay, then we're going to next enter the x maximum, which is +3 pi, and arrow down. Okay, then the XSCL, that stands for X scale. That means that we're going in increments of pi divided by 2, pi over 2, be our quadrantal angles. Then the Y minimum is at -20, and the Y maximum +20. Okay, and then the Y scale is 1s. And then when you're ready to graph whatever your trig functions were that you put in your y1 and y2, you would just go ahead then and hit the graph button, and this would be the dimensions that your calculator would display with whatever you put in your equations. Okay, and that should help you get started on answering the Math Journal error analysis question.